Okay, well, before we dive in, I've got something to tell you. Your offer is an answer to someone's whispered prayer, but you're too afraid to share it. And today I'm going to show you why that matters for you being a mum building a side hustle. Well, welcome, mamas. Welcome our mum tribe. And if you're catching the replay, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm Alicia Seiuli, and every week we get together to help mums rise, become the version of yourself that you love, and build a joyful brand in under 3 hours a week. So today we're talking about being bold with your offer because over the last 5 weeks, I have discovered that what I have matters and can be the answer to the prayers people have been praying. It's been a big revelation for me. So, yeah, lovely to have my beautiful friends here and Mum Tribe, Karen and Pam. And I know that the rest of the mamas are going to be catching up. But hi from Panama. I am no longer in New Zealand. I am now living in Panama for the next foreseeable future. We've rented an apartment. My whole family's living here. We now live on the 19th floor. We have three swimming pools. The kids love it. We've been swimming every day. And our new Raising Royalty base is literally across the road through a petrol station, and then the building's right there. So it's perfect. The doors have just been thrown open for us, and we've been able to, yeah, make it here. But along the way, we took a bit of a detour. So I can't wait to share with you guys about that. So the last 5 weeks have been massive for me and my family. We knew we were moving to Panama, but we didn't know we were adding a 5 week trip through Thailand and India on the way to Panama. But what I've learned is that God is so good and He has a solution for the most desperate of problems because we literally saw so many people living in the worst kind of conditions, uh, yeah, with the least kind of options. But I've just really discovered, that we can be the answers to prayers that these people have prayed. And not as a savior and not as someone who comes in and tells them how to live their life, but like, yeah, God has solutions for people in every situation. One of the biggest things I saw and was totally amazed by was crazy physical healings. So my husband got to pray for a man with metal all down his spine after an accident. He could barely move. If he sat, they had to strap him to a chair. He couldn't twist, he couldn't bend. And you wouldn't believe it, but after he Jesus touched him, he was moving in every way possible and still with metal in his back. Like he could still feel the metal, but he wasn't in pain and he could move, he could twist, he could sit. And they saw him like the next day and he was still like able to move and do all that stuff. So, yeah, really amazing. Like I prayed for so many people, young people, like lots of people have lots of like scooter accidents, motorbike accidents, because obviously a lot of people drive them, and so a lot of people have pain in their bodies. They don't even know why it's there. And I personally saw people have all that pain go. We saw people take their glasses off and not need them anymore. Like they could see better without their glasses. So it was really, really cool seeing all of that sort of stuff and just I think realizing the power and the absolute love of God. And I think it made me realize that I've so often held back my light in lots of different ways. And we're literally the purpose that we have on here on earth is to bring hope to people through sharing what we have to offer. And that's what I really want to unpack today. So, what do I mean by sharing our light? Well, simply put, who you are and what you have to offer, whether it's a business, a product, a story, or a prayer, is only powerful and effective if it's seen, right? Like a light has to be seen, otherwise, it can't do anything. And I've got a little example for you. So, several times during the trip, I got into conversations with women who were mums like me. They too had stepped aside from traditional work, but wondered when they would need to return. Um, and as I shared about our group and how we're mums with businesses that, work around our family life, I saw these women start to get ideas and hear that something out of the box was actually possible. It's like for the first time they were hearing that you don't have to accept the rat race. There might actually be another way. And that was really cool, like being in different cultures and realizing that message applies everywhere. So, how can we use this idea of shining our light in our businesses, in our brands, in our lives? And I've got a few little ideas. It's not going to be a super long call today, but I really want to share the stuff. And then maybe at the end, if you would like to hear some stories or ask some questions about the trip, you're more than welcome. So, yeah, how can we shine our light, right? How can we become more of this light, this thing that we have inside of us? How can we be more bold with it? So the first idea I have is this: say yes. It's often hard to say yes to opportunities in the season of motherhood, especially with babies, right? Because that's just like a full-on season, a new baby. But I've noticed that God brings multiple opportunities our way all the time. So if you're feeling like you've missed out, don't worry. He's got another one for you. Not everything is a perfect fit, but sometimes we say no too quickly. We can be afraid that things will fail, and what we can lose when we say no to opportunity is we can lose the momentum. And momentum is really precious. So once something is moving, it can change course and move like a boat. Like if a boat was sitting still, it can't really turn. It needs to have momentum and then it can turn. So something that's stationary takes a lot to get going, but something that is moving can be moved in different ways. And so what I think I've learned over the last little while is saying yes is really important. And if you choose things to with the attitude of let's see if I can make this work, you can learn from absolutely everything. And of course, you can rewind, like you can try stuff and then not do it. Like it's totally okay. But yeah, like say yes. And if you have to exit it because it doesn't work, it's not a failure, it's just a learning. And that was a big thing for me. I'm just going to set up my screen a bit differently because I can't even see your beautiful face, Kieran. And I would like to see you. Here we go. Now I can see you a bit better. Cool. Okay, number two is get vulnerable. So on the first week of the trip, I could feel myself holding back. Everyone else was praying for people, but I needed to look after the kids, keep them out of the way. And like this is, let me give you some context. Like we are in a migrant camp, so it's like a dirt shack environment. There's like a little river, some chickens. The people are gathered on mats. There's a bunch of like people who like so we were connecting with migrants, which is people who are coming out of Myanmar with no refugee status. They're just running out of Myanmar because of their homes are being bombed. So they're just leaving straight away. And then there were other people who were from the church that we were connected with, and they were there. Some of them could help translate. So we're kind of sitting around, someone's giving a message. I'm at the back with the kids. It's so hot. It's probably one of the first days we've been there. Or Levi's in the front pack, and I'm like, like just dying. It's like one of those intense situations. Tate doesn't know what to do, so he's like being loud, picking up sticks, picking up things. It's just dirty. You just don't know what's safe. There might be a bug that could bite him. There's mosquitoes. And so, the first few days I was like looking after the kids, but I realized like as time went on, there might be opportunity for me to do something. And there, and so sometimes I held back when I knew that I could step forward. Also, we would have prayer meetings, and I could feel this real, like, emotional feeling every time we'd start praying. But I kind of didn't want to cry in front of everyone. I kind of felt embarrassed or like, like, why am I being emotional? We're all here to pray and be like, like go hard. But yeah, I wasn't feeling that. But for me, like what I discovered was both these situations where I was holding back in the times that we were meeting with people and also like holding back my heart maybe in prayer meetings because I didn't want to go into that emotional space. Both of them were expressions of being uncomfortable. Like I was just feeling uncomfortable. I was feeling vulnerable and I was uncomfortable with being messy, right? What if I start praying for someone and then Tate needs me? Like I might have to leave them. Like this is just a crazy situation. But once I let myself go, once I let myself cry in the prayer meeting a little bit, once I took a step in and did pray for people, even though I had like a baby in my front pack, I did start to see miracles, like literal miracles. And the other cool thing that happened was we did quite a few like night meetings in churches. And so I was often at the back with the kids, they were playing, whatever they were doing. And I'd have people like come up to me who could speak English, and I'd have great conversations and get to pray for people. And, all that because I became open, right? I became open. I let myself become vulnerable. And, it can be really hard to navigate putting yourself out there and being open when you're a mum with kids. But I just guess I want to encourage us, like, however you can participate in things, do it imperfectly. Like, you don't have to have it all together. You don't have to get it right. Um, but you're welcome to actually try. And like this whole experience has been so intense for me. Like I don't really have any time to reflect. If I was me, single me, I would have journaled every day of the trip and I would have talked about all these miracles and had all this time with God. But like as a mum, like there's just not time for that. Like I'm literally living from experience to experience to experience. And it becomes a little bit of survival because you just got to get up the next day and go out the next day. And there were some times when I stayed home, stayed back at like the hotel or wherever I was. But I'm learning that if you get up and keep going and let yourself be vulnerable, even if I show up at like a rate of 20%, like my output is so low because I've got the children or whatever else is going on, like I'm still there and good things are happening. And I think what I shared with a friend was like, would I rather be at home where it's all like safe and I know the routine and I don't have to stress out, or would I rather be here and be stressed out a little bit, but also be seeing all these amazing, crazy things? And for me, I would rather go through the fire of the challenge and see the amazing things. So yeah, I think, you know what? Get vulnerable, be messy, and even if you've only got 20% to give, just show up with your 20% and it is definitely worth it. Okay, number three, I think that we should care less about what people think. So this trip, moving to a new country, it's been an amazing shedding of invisible expectations I put on myself. I feel like all the craziness of the last 5 weeks with no days off, tired and hungry kids, loads of meetings. It's been part of the plan, like God's amazing plan to burn away my inhibitions. And I really want to be a deeper, more honest, more bold me. I want that me to exist in the world. Um, and I know that a me that goes for things, a me that knows what I want, a me that is becoming more fully me and will be like, as I become more fully me, I'll actually be a bigger blessing to people. And I'm grateful for this season, these last 5 weeks. And now, of course, moving to a new country, it's a time of separation. But it's also, it's allowing me to become and step into something new. And so I guess I just want to say, like, if you guys ever get an opportunity, it might not be the kind of opportunity that I have, but any opportunity to step into something new, you will have to learn to care less about what people think, like you will, and that's a great thing that will allow you to really create your own normal. And I'm really excited about the next season of our family's lives. We're going to be creating a whole new normal that we haven't had before. So, yeah, that is what we've been learning, what we've been doing. I wondered if anyone had had any experiences with holding back before. Maybe you could pop it in the chat. Like, have you ever held back before? Have you ever, was it like with your business or was it in your social life or in some other way? And like, what did you do to step forward? Like, how did you do that? It's always great to hear like what other people are doing and what we can learn from one another. Okay, so three little takeaways from this conversation. So, number one, say yes. Choose to try things with a let's see if it could work attitude, knowing that you can learn from everything. Number two, get vulnerable. I'm learning to keep going and not let vulnerability like take me out, right? Even if I can only give 20%, I'm still there and good things can happen when I'm around. And number three, care less. I really want to become a deeper and more honest, more bold me in this world. And I invite you to also try new experiences so you can realize that you can care less about what is normal and you can create your own normal. And I want to remind you that motherhood is the perfect time to grow. We are already being tested by all that we're learning through motherhood, but don't feel like this is the only purpose to your season. It is a time to plant, to establish, to try new things, to show up in the smallest of ways in the spare 20 minutes you don't have each day because you've got to make it. Make that 20 minutes. Because if you can find a way in this season to do something beyond just parenting and doing social life and all that sort of stuff, you'll be more focused, right? You've only got so much time, so you'll be more focused and you'll be more clear and you'll be able to carry that into the next season of your life and you'll have momentum, which is what we need to achieve amazing things. So I really want to encourage you, like this is the perfect season to push through and do something amazing. So if this call today has resonated with you, I would love it if you would hit subscribe, so you don't miss a week. And if you want to keep the conversation going, you're welcome to join our Mum with a Side Hustle Facebook group. I'll pop the link in the description, and that's where we kind of dig deeper and go together. So remember, shine your light, and it's so great to have had you here. But now we can go to we can chat and we can you guys can ask some questions if you have any questions or yeah, love to have a conversation. Did anything that I share resonate with you? Oh, cool. There's some people on the Facebook. Emily, lovely to see you, Emily. Like, cool that you're here live. And Laura, that's so cool. And Rita, you've joined the Zoom room. Cool. Okay, Karen, have you thought of any questions? I'll put you on the spot.
I'm running a little blank at the moment. Any questions?
I can see someone wrote something in the chat. Oh, here we go. Pam, she's just sharing that she held herself back because she thought her business course would need to be a lot more polished, yeah. Um, and have more credible mentors. I chose to scale right back and just start, but it took me a while to realize that I could do that. Yeah. And your course is amazing, Pam. I love your course, and I only did the first version of it. I haven't even done the second version. Rita, do you want to know anything about the trip or about anything or how are you? It's nice to see you. Are you allowed to unmute? You're at work, aren't you?
I'm currently in a room that I'll see if anyone else needs it. It doesn't look like it's booked until 1:30, so I
How
haven't
are
got any
you, Rita?
burning questions anyway, and I only saw part of what you were talking about earlier as I was trying to make my lunch. But yeah,
It's
it's
nice
good to
to
see
see
you.
you. Yeah, you too. How's your business going? Have you had any more opportunities?
I've had another order. I need to. I've joined like a coaching group to try and kind of
Cool.
work on some goals and stuff. So I just had to figure out what my goal was for the next 6 months.
Wow, that's
That was quite
awesome.
fun. Hmm.
Yay, that's so
It's
cool.
just it's a group of like 4 or 5 people like from Australia and New Zealand, so within
Yep.
the Cenogens
Yep.
group. So yeah, it's quite cool.
Oh, that's so cool. That'll be really helpful.
Mm.
I am
Yeah.
planning, I think, to start a small community call every week for my life way of business, because there isn't really anything like that at the moment. So yeah, it'll
Yeah.
be something like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Karen, how are your projects going? I mean, I know you had the school holidays, but have you been working on the bus? How's it going with the animals? Any more artwork? I saw you did a post. I saw that just as I quickly logged on.
Yeah, I didn't manage to post in the holidays, just too busy. So I thought, right, I'll just post in term time and then I can keep
Yeah, come
momentum.
on.
So
Yeah.
um Yeah, getting less, I think, feedback on my posts, but I think it's just, Facebook algorithms are fun. So I really need to start the email list, but I haven't even really brainstormed how to do that. Um, as for the bus, I'm making some progress. I figured out how to stop the lights from flickering, so I'm just busy wiring in capacitors and all that kind of stuff.
It's
So,
amazing. How do you know how to do all of that stuff?
fortunately, I have a brother who's a genius, so that helps. Um, yeah.
He
Like, what do
literally
I
is
do
a
here?
genius, right?
He literally pretty much is. Yeah, he got like, I don't know what percentage, like 98%, something crazy in like high school. But some of his subjects, but he just remembers what he reads and he's really good with electrical, plumbing, all
Yeah.
that stuff. So yeah, I just passed my ideas through him because I thought I was going to have to do like these things called inductors and diodes and whatever.
Yeah.
But turns out capacitors do the trick. So I need to buy a few more. I just forgot yesterday on my way home. But animal wise, doing good. At one point, we had so many, had like 19 baby guinea pigs and 9 adults. Now I'm down to 4 adults and 3 babies. So
Yeah.
Well
we have
done.
done a lot. Thank you.
If anyone needs
Yeah.
guinea
So it's starting
pigs,
to,
Kieran is selling some.
yeah, I have some really
Babies.
cute ones left. And yeah, so I'm going to sell, I think, an adult with a baby this time just
Yeah.
to, make sure that
Yeah.
they get along well. And yeah, so I've just got our favorite ones. I've got a home for the 2 females once I'm ready to let them go, where
Yeah.
they have like a whole backyard and they can just eat. And they get like watermelon at dinner time and all kinds of amazing
Oh,
fancy
that's so
stuff.
cool.
So
Now, just for
yeah,
context, if you're watching this recorded, um, Kieran is, what would you say, Kieran? You're becoming more focused about what you want to achieve. And so the animals, even though they're a small little side hustle, they are having to leave your life. Is that right?
yeah, they just took so much time and it meant that I couldn't do when I brainstormed and figured out what I really want to accomplish. I realized that they were kind of holding me back from my actual dream. So yeah, I want to get our bus finished so we finally have a home that we own and can move without all the stress. Because, I hate moving and renting is not fun because, randomly when you get asked to move because the owners want to move back or sell the house or whatever, it is really stressful when you get a short time frame and I really don't like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, and rent costs a lot of money. So yeah,
Yeah,
trying
that's
to
so
figure out how
cool.
to stop doing that. And yeah,
So one of the key components of Master the Code, which I really highly recommend everyone do, is called focus. And when you do master the code, you realize how actually unfocused you are in life. I think that it really helped me and my husband like really realize like what do we want? Like what is actually going to get us moving towards what we really want and what do we need to let go of? And it's been a process of about 5 years of letting go. That's how we got to Panama.
wow.
A lot of letting go, a lot of getting focused, and a lot of yeses and a lot of nos. So if you feel like that's something that would help you, then Master the Code definitely is good. It will help with that. And there is a new one starting. I think it's the 20th of October. There'll be a new round starting. So yeah, master the code. Go
Yeah.
master the code. Focus,
It is fun.
consistency. Yeah, gonna
Yeah,
get
I really bad at all the habits. I'm like pretty much dropped out of most of the habits, but it still helped me be focused. So,
yeah,
trying to just
definitely.
do what I can do.
And I think like you can find habits that are going to work for you. One thing I wish I had time for when we were traveling was like I think I've shared with you guys before, like I like to reflect on the day and write down my wins and then write down like what I'm going to achieve the next day. But we were like getting back late. The kids were crazy. I was like feeding, like Olive breastfed like the whole trip almost, I don't know, like hours and hours every day. Every time we got in the vehicle, she wanted it. Every time she just wanted it all the time. And I think it was just her way of coping with all the changes and the heat and all the craziness. But it was extremely exhausting for me, breastfeeding an almost 2-year-old all the time. So I'd often just fall into bed and I didn't get that time to like write down my wins and that sort of thing. But yeah, like now that there was just literally a season, it was just a crazy season and there were so many benefits to it, but some of those other things like the habits maybe didn't happen as much as I wanted. But now we're here, like I'm slowly working our way back up. I'm pretty exhausted this week. I feel like it's a miracle that I've even done this call today. But like I feel like there's a lot of times when we need to give ourselves grace but not stop, like grace for the moments where we can't be consistent because of the calling of motherhood, but know that we have the resilience to bounce back and try again. Or like Kieran, like, there'll be some things of those habits that maybe you do cling to, but maybe not all 12 of them. Maybe you've learned that like more water is helpful or something. I don't know. Um, yeah, water.
Yeah,
Look at this cool
water
bottle
is good.
that I got in Amsterdam. Actually, my friend bought it. Well, she got it free and then she gave it to me. The camera will not let me show it to
Very
you,
cool.
but it is
That's
very cool.
cool.
Look at that. Can you read those words? Yeah.
Probably
Anyway.
you could put it in front of your face, it'll block out your face and be able to focus on it.
Yeah. Cool, guys. Well, I'm just going to check if anyone's talking on Facebook. I don't think anyone's got any more questions, but it's been so cool having you guys jump on with me again. Like I said, it has been a very quick call, but yeah, I'm so grateful that Pam, you did one of the calls for us, and Braun and Jade and Laura. Super grateful that you guys did that, and you are all amazing. And I hope that you all start your
They
own
are all definitely amazing.
soon. They are all definitely amazing. Yes, and Kieran and Rita
So
are
great.
also very amazing too. Um, maybe we will do a call together sometime because I want you guys to understand how amazing these women are. Um, yeah, maybe we'll have an interview. I think that would be pretty cool. You don't have to say yes now. I'm putting you on the spot. But yeah,
Yeah, so how did you get brave enough to step out and do
me,
what you do now? Yeah,
I
because
mean,
obviously it probably was scary for you starting Mum with a side hustle and,
I don't
doing
think
stuff
it
on the
was
mission trip.
scary at all. I had heard of the idea of starting like a Facebook group several years beforehand, and I'd been waiting. I didn't know what I was who I was called to, right? And so it didn't come until I'd had Olive, and then this literally mum with a side hustle dropped in the thing. Doing the weekly live call again wasn't scary. It was more I was worried that I wouldn't be consistent, and I wanted to. If I said yes to it, I needed to show up every week. I think what's scary is sometimes coming down to the wire and being like, what do I have to say? Like literally today. I was planning on having time to prepare for the call earlier in the day, and I was like, sweet, then I can have dinner and put Levy to bed and then come upstairs and do this call. Well, that did not happen because other things happened. And so I had like half an hour and I didn't even know what I was going to share today. And I just sat down and I
Hello.
had a little template and
I'm
wrote
just
it. So that's probably what's more scary is knowing that I have to show up at 1 o'clock every Thursday. And what am I going to say? But the talking isn't scary. And I think that's just maybe my personality. Like, I don't mind being on a stage. I don't mind talking to people. I don't mind singing in front of people. So that part I don't mind. But making sure I have something valuable to share and making sure that what I share makes sense, sometimes that's a little bit hard. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, you did pretty well.
Thank you. But Karen, you know me for a long time.
Oh,
I
yeah.
lead things and talk, and that's a part of who I am, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Karen and I went to school together. I'm not going to put this part on YouTube, but this will be on Facebook. So if anyone's made it this far, Karen and I went to school together. So we went on our first missions trip together. Was that your first missions trip?
Yeah. When I was like 15, you're probably 14 or
I was
something.
14, yeah. We went to Fiji and we got billeted to people's houses, and I just remember drinking Fanta out of glass bottles and the frogs that came out at night, and
That was cool.
it was an amazing trip. It was my first ever trip overseas, missions trip. But cool. Okay, team. Well, I'm going to end the call. It's lovely to have had you. Thank you for all the mums who watched us on Facebook, all the mums who are going to watch us on Facebook. There's still someone on there. I don't know who that is, but I can see a little one. So thanks for chilling out with us. And yeah, I'll be back next Thursday, and hopefully, I will have had more time to prepare, and the family will be all calm, and I'll feel more present in my mind and less tired. But it's really great to have you guys, and I love you all and encourage you to keep going with everything that you're doing. Okay, bless you. See you later. Bye.
Nice.